Special thanks to Patreon supporter The Grand Pope for making this tutorial possible. Hello ladies and gentlemen, ZPro here bringing you another Minecraft Modern Warfare vehicle tutorial. In this tutorial we'll be going ahead and building the VH-60N, known as the White Hawk, or with the president on board, Marine 1. Marine 1 is the call sign of any United States Marine Corps aircraft carrying the President of the United States. It usually denotes a helicopter operated by the Marine Helicopter Squadron 1 HMX-1 Nighthawks, consisting of either the large Sikorsky VH-3D Sea King or the newer, smaller VH-60N White Hawk. Both helicopters are called White Tops because of their livery. Any Marine Corps aircraft flying the Vice President without the President has the call sign Marine 2. So this right here in front of us is the kind of updated, I guess, newer version, kind of not really replacing the Sea Kings, but in a way kind of is a alternate aircraft to it. This basically is a modified Black Hawk, one of the kind of more newer variants of the Black Hawk, and basically is upgraded to house the President. Obviously it's a little different in terms of its interior from the standard, but from my research it seems to be pretty much exactly like the standard AH-60Ns, so pretty similar in that kind of sense, obviously with a few minor differences and changes to the overall aircraft for it being more of a transport aircraft than a, you know, military type helicopter. So really cool aircraft, and our first ever kind of Marine 1. Hopefully eventually we'll get around to doing the Sea King as well, so we'll have both of those for our fleet of helicopters. But before we go ahead and jump in and taking a look at the build, I want to go and give special thanks to Patreon supporter The Grand Pope for making this tutorial possible. If you guys are interested in supporting the channel more, you guys already do, feel free to check out my Patreon page. Link is down in the video description, where you can go to pledge a small amount to the channel every month and earn a viewer request for every month that you are a patron. Help supports the work I do and all that stuff for the channel, and is obviously very much appreciated. So again, feel free to check that out. Again, link is always in video descriptions. Anyways, let's go ahead and kind of dive into taking a look here at the aircraft. So obviously we have both the landed and in-flight versions here. This is a new design for the Black Hawk as well, compared to my last version, which came out years ago. So nice to see a new redesign for it, and hopefully we'll have just the standard military version coming shortly. But yeah, we can have the front here, obviously the livery here. We have the white top to it, and this white stripe that runs basically along the side there of the fuselage. We have the cockpit up here in the front. It has a, I believe, radar mounted on the front there, or something of that sort. And we have obviously the modifications here. The windows, kind of more of a transport helicopter type windows, and rather than the military ones. Presidential steel would be on the side of the aircraft here. Also seems to be a modification that kind of has an extending ramp. That's my only guess as to what this little thing could be, but it kind of juts out a little bit on the bottom here, and due to its position, it just seems like it's a loading ramp if I were to take a guess on that one. We then have the engines up here, so pretty straightforward designs for those, nothing too fancy. The rear of the aircraft, and it flows down here to the tail, various little instruments and sensors and stuff like that on the tail. We then have the tail rotor and all that stuff. So pretty cool design overall. Again, you have both the landed and in-flight versions to choose from for it, and pretty cool helicopter. Anyways, let's go ahead and move into the tutorial by beginning with our first layer. Alright guys, going ahead and moving into the tutorial. Now to begin with, we'll be starting with layer 2. Layer 2 here gives us a better kind of overall look at the size of the aircraft. It also is easier to kind of add on what we need to for layer 1, and then also move it up into layer 3. Now, one thing to note is if you do want to build this aircraft landed, one thing to keep in mind here is that you do want the aircraft to be only one block, or this layer here to be one block off the ground. So, as you can see here, this would be the ground level right here, and we have our block, one block of space between the ground level and this layer. Very important if you do want to build it landed, because if you obviously have it too high or too low, it's not going to sit properly on the ground. But once you have that figured out and you're going to start this layer for that, then you guys are pretty much good to go. If you're building the in-flight version, it doesn't really matter too much, just to make sure you give yourself plenty of space. Anyways, for us to go ahead and get started here, one thing to mention also is we'll be doing the tutorial half on camera, half off. The majority of this helicopter is symmetrical, so whatever we do on the one side will be done on the other side. unless something different comes up, and I'll explain that when we get to that point. But just know that we're going to build half the center line and then half the helicopter on camera, and then be up to you guys in between layers to copy the other side over. Anyways, let's get started. So the first thing we're going to start with is a dark oak with top slab, followed by a dark oak with up down stair, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 green terracotta blocks back, a stone brick wall, 1, 2, 3 green terracotta blocks back, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 dark oak with top slabs, and followed by 4 dark oak with trapdoors. We're going to go and then skip a space, and then we're going to place down a stone brick stair like so. On the bottom of the stone brick stair, we're going to place down a lever, just so we don't forget to do that later on. And that's going to do it there for the rear, and that's going to kind of create the center line there. After that's done, we're going to go ahead and then place down a dark oak wood slab. Top slab coming off this top slab here. However, over here on the left side, we do have a bit of a difference. On the left side here, we're going to place down a green terracotta block in this spot, followed by another green terracotta block that comes off of it, and then a dark oak wood trapdoor on both sides of this green terracotta block, and then a zombie head there on the tip. Over here on the right side, we just have that dark oak wood top slab, and then a dark oak would stair back from the top slab. Once that's done, we're going to take our green terracotta, and this right here is going to go back to being symmetrical on both sides. We're going to place down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 green terracotta blocks back, followed by a dark oak wood up sound stair, 1 dark oak wood top slab, and 2 dark oak wood trapdoors after that top slab. Once we have that done, again going back up here to the front, we're going to place down a dark oak wood trapdoor on the side of this upside down stair. After that, we want to go ahead and place down a top slab going back from the trapdoor, a dark oak wood upside down stair, a green terracotta block, followed by 1, 2, 3 dark oak wood upside down stairs, 1, 2, 3 green terracotta blocks, a dark oak wood upside down stair, and then it's going to be a dark oak wood top slab, and then a dark oak wood top slab after that. So 2 top slabs, and then a dark oak wood sign there on the side of this first top slab like that. After we have that done, we want to go ahead and then take our zombie heads. We're going to place down 3 zombie heads on the side of these blocks. We're going to go and then go to this green terracotta block. We're going to place down 1 more that comes off of it to the side. A stone button coming off the side of the block. Zombie head coming off it toward the front here. Dark oak wood trapdoor toward the back. And then a stone brick wall right there in that section. So you create basically what's going to be our front landing gear. Once we have that done, going ahead and continuing on, that's actually about it for this layer. I thought there was something more, but that's actually all we need to do. So that right there is going to wrap up this layer. Looking at it from above here, this is what we should have. So again, take note to the difference here up in the front with that radar mounted on the nose. But other than that, this is what it should look like. And that right there is going to complete layer 1. Layer 2, sorry. With that, let's go ahead and move on to layer 1. Alright guys, so at this point, moving into layer 1, this kind of depends on what you guys are going for. So if you're building the landed version, you're going to go ahead and place down a block of coal on the bottom of the stone brick wall, a dark oak trapdoor coming off that, like so, toward the front, a stone button coming off the side of the block, item frame, and then a white stained glass pane in the item frame like that. And that's going to basically do it for your landing gear when it's landed. If you're building the in-flight version, we're going to go ahead and go down from this wall with a dark oak fence post, followed by a dark oak up sound stair like this, followed by a block of coal on the bottom of the fence post, a stone button to both sides of this coal block item frame, and a white stained glass pane in the item frame. And same thing over here, this item frame, and our white stained glass pane and all that stuff. Now, that's basically the landing gear, so you kind of have to pick and choose what you guys want to do here. So again, this is the landed version, which will sit like this, and then the in-flight version, which hangs down a little bit, as the landing gear does with the Blackhawk. So you would have to pick and choose between what you're going for, and pick whichever one corresponding to that. Anyways, once we have that all done here, we want to go and then go to the bottom of our aircraft. We're going to go and go to this section here where we have the stone brick wall. We're going to place down a lever on both sides of it, and then an end rod in between those levers, just like that. And then a stone button that goes like this toward the rear. Also, going ahead and moving up to the front here, we want to go and grab ourselves a dark oak trapdoor and dark oak sign. We're going to place down a stone button that's coming off of these 2 green terracotta blocks, a dark oak trapdoor back from those stone buttons, and then a dark oak sign on the side of the trapdoor. Same thing over here as well, just like that. And once we have that all done there, that is going to basically finish off both sides there of the aircraft, and that right there will basically complete what we have there for layer 1. So again, pick the landing gear of your choosing, and you'll be good to go ahead and move on to our next layer, layer number 3. Alright guys, moving into our next layer, we have layer number 3. For layer 3 to go ahead and get started with here, we're going to place down a green terracotta block on top of this dark oak wood top slab here, followed by another green terracotta block that comes off it that sticks out past those slabs from the previous layer by 1. And we're going to place down a stone button there on the very tip of it like so. After that, we're going to go ahead and place down another green terracotta block back like this, so you have a row 3 in total here for your front center line. Moving on to the rear of the aircraft here, we're going to start off by going ahead and go into the second to last dark oak wood top slab in the center. We're going to place down a smooth quartz block on top of that slab, followed by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 smooth quartz full blocks back, and then 1 and 2 smooth quartz top slabs like that to go and finish off the rear there. After we have that done, that's going to complete our center line for basically the front and back, and we're going to go and start working our way out to the side. To begin with, in the front here, we're going to place down a mossy cobblestone wall, coming out this green terracotta block, followed by another green terracotta block back from the mossy cobblestone wall. We're going to go and then place down a block of black stained glass, and then a second block of stained glass coming out to the side. Coming off this block, we're going to go ahead and also place down a mossy cobblestone wall on the side of it like so. Once we have that done, we're going to take our smooth quartz, we're going to go ahead and go back 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10 smooth quartz blocks back. Along the side here, we're going to go and grab ourselves a tripwire hook, a lever, and a stone button. We're going to place down a stone button on this first smooth quartz block, a tripwire hook, and then a lever on the second block, or the third block back like that. We're also going to place down a smooth quartz stair on top of this stone brick wall right there above the landing gear. Once we get to this point, we're going to go ahead and also take stone buttons on the last 2 smooth quartz blocks. We're going to place down 2 stone buttons like so. We're going to go ahead and then place down 3 direct walls going back from that smooth quartz block. And we're going to go ahead and then place down 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 smooth quartz blocks in total in this row here. And we want to go and then grab ourselves direct walls and place down 1, 2, 3, 4 direct walls back, and then a smooth quartz stair like that on the end here, and then another direct wall. After we have that done, we're going to go and grab a zombie head and end rod. We're going to place down a zombie head on the side of this first quartz block here, 2 end rods back, a zombie head coming off this wall right here, 2 end rods back, and then another zombie head that'll be coming off of this wall right there on the back there. And that right there is going to pretty much do it for that. One thing I also want to go ahead and mention here is that we do want to go ahead and add this little wheel in the back here. And this is something I forgot from the previous layer, and I just noticed that we did forget to do it. So we're going to go ahead and add that on right now. So we're going to go and go to this smooth quartz block. We're going to place down a lever, which will come down and kind of connect that stair. And then come off this lever here on the bottom of the stair, we're going to place down a grindstone, like so. An item frame on both sides of the grindstone, a white concrete block in those item frames, and that right there will basically complete it for your rear wheel, just like that. With that all done, that's going to basically wrap up what we have here for layer number 3 for the build. Obviously transfer what we did on the right side over to the left side, and this is what it should look like from up above for this layer. Anyways, that right there again is it for layer 3, and let's move on to layer number 4. Alright guys, moving into our next layer, we have layer number 4. For layer 4 to begin with, we're going to go to the front up here. We're going to place down a dark oak wood trapdoor on top of this green terracotta block, a dark oak wood slab back from the trapdoor, a green terracotta block, and then a black stained glass full block like that after that block. We then want to go and go to the side here, that's going to do it for the center line. We're going to go and now move to the rear center line. For this, we're going to go and go to our third quartz block, so 1, 2, 3, and our third one here, we're going to place down a green terracotta block on top of it. We're going to go ahead and go back from that, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 green terracotta blocks back, so you have a total of 9, and we're going to then place down a dark oak wood stair on top of this quartz top slab here on the very end. Once we have that all finished there, that's going to do it for our center line, and we're going to go and start working our way out to the sides. To begin with, we're going to place down a dark oak wood slab coming off this slab like so, and we're going to then place down a chain coming off the slab going forward like so. We then want to go ahead and place down a dark oak wood stair back from the slab, and then a black stained glass full block. Once we have that done, we're going to go ahead and place down a dark oak wood slab coming off the front of the stair here, and then a dark oak wood upside down stair like that next to this black stained glass block. We're going to place down there a black stained glass block back, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 green terracotta blocks back. After we have that done, we want to go and then place down a end rod on top of this lever here. And this section here, we are going to change a few things. So over here on the left side, we're going to have our row of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 green terracotta blocks. Over here on the right side, we're going to go to our second block, place this with a dark oak wood slab. And then our fourth block here, we're going to place with a slab as well. And on the inside here of these slabs, we're going to place down black stained glass. And that's going to be on the right side here and the right side only. So you can see the difference there for both sides. Once we get to this point, we want to go ahead and then grab ourselves our dark oak wood slabs. We're going to place down a dark oak wood slab on both sides here, and then a black stained glass block like that to both sides, just like that on the rear there. We're going to go ahead and place down a green terracotta block, followed by a shulker box coming off of it to the right side here. Once we have that done, we're going to place down another green terracotta block coming off the shulker box. And we want to go and then take our mossy cobblestone walls and go back 1, 2, and 3 walls back. On the inside here, we're going to place down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 green terracotta blocks, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 mossy cobblestone walls back. After that's done, going ahead and going off this dark oak or this green terracotta block, we're going to place down 1, 2, 3, and 4 slabs to the side there, and coming off this stair here, same thing, 4 slabs out to the side like that. Once we have that all done there, that is going to basically finish off what we have there for the tail. And with that, the last thing we have to do here is to put the presidential seal on the side of the aircraft. For this, real simple. All we're going to do is grab ourselves a birchwood sign, an item frame, and then we want to go and also grab ourselves a blue concrete block. So, right here. And what we're going to do here is we'll be going ahead and on the left side, it's going to go right before this slab here. And over here on the right side, it's going to go on this green terracotta block. So item frame, blue concrete block rotated around like that, and then a birchwood sign over it, like so, for the presidential seal on the side of the aircraft. And with that all done, that's going to basically wrap it up here for this layer. One last thing we do want to do is we want to place down a zombie head on top of this stair here to both sides like that for the landing gear. And once we have that all done, that is going to wrap up what we have there for layer number 4 for the build. And with that, let's move on to layer number 5. Alright guys, moving into our next layer, we have layer number 5. For layer 5, we go ahead and get started with here. For our center line in the front, we're going to place down a black stained glass block on top of this one here in the center. And then a second black stained glass block going back from it. So you have a row of 2 there for the front. After that, going ahead and going back here to the rear, we're going to go and start off by placing down a green terracotta block on top of this dark oak wood upside stair. Or this dark oak stair, sorry. Coming off this green terracotta block toward the back, we're going to place down a dark oak wood upside stair. And on the side of the stair, we're going to place down a dark oak wood sign, and also on the side of this green terracotta block. We then want to go ahead and place down a additional 2 green terracotta blocks going up toward the front. On the sides of the last block right here, we're going to place down a stone button on both ends, or both sides. We're going to go and then go off this block 1, 2, 3 slabs forward, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 green terracotta blocks forward to create your center line. And that right there is going to basically finish your center line here for the aircraft. Going ahead and moving out to the sides here, we're going to go off these 2 black stained glass blocks. We're going to place down 2 black stained glass full blocks. We then want to place down a black stained glass pane coming off of it to the side here, and then an upside down dark oak wood stair like so. After that, we're going to go and place down a green terracotta block, followed by a black stained glass block, green terracotta block, black stained glass block, green terracotta block, a black stained glass block, and a green terracotta block. On the side of this green terracotta block right here, we're going to place down a dark oak wood stair, which will go to both sides like so, and a dark oak wood sign coming off the side of the stair. After that, we want to go ahead and then place down a green shulker box in this section right here, which is going to be on its side, like the one we did previously. So just like that. And we're going to go then take our green terracotta and we're going to go ahead and go back 2 blocks. We also want to go ahead and go off this green terracotta block. We're going to place down an iron trapdoor to the side, followed by a second iron trapdoor directly after it. Grabbing our mossy cobblestone walls, we're going to place down 2 walls right here, followed by 1, 2, 3 green terracotta blocks on the inside here, and then 1, 2, 3, 4 mossy cobblestone walls back from that green terracotta block. After that's all done, we want to go and then go over here to the sides, or actually the sides here, the walls. We're going to place down a zombie head on top of this wall here, and then one at a slight angle on this block right here. Over here on the left side, however, we're going to place down a dark oak wood fence post on top of this block. A zombie head at another same angle as this one, so a slight angle like so. And then another dark oak wood fence post on top of this mossy cobblestone wall right there. And that's going to be on the left side and the left side only. And that right there is going to basically complete what we have here for this layer, layer number 5. Here's again what it looks like from up above there. And with that, we're going to go and move on to our next layer, layer number 6. Alright guys, moving into our next layer, we have layer number 6. For layer 6 to go ahead and get started with here, we're going to place down a smooth quartz slab on top of this black stained glass block. Going back from that, we're going to place down a quartz stair, followed by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 smooth quartz blocks back, followed by a green terracotta block here on the end, and then a quartz stair coming off that green terracotta block. After that quartz stair, to place down a diorite wall, and then an iron trapdoor after that. We then want to go and go back to the tail here. We're going to place down a green terracotta block on top of this one here, followed by a second one back, and then a zombie head coming off the side here of the last block. On the sides, we're going to place down a stone button, followed by a item frame. In that item frame, we're going to place down a polished andesite block, and then a dark oak sign on the side here of it, just like that. And there is going to complete your tail. Once that's done, go ahead and moving back up here to the front. We're going to go ahead and go to the sides here of this slab. We're going to place down a daylight detector and turn it to the night mode. We're going to go ahead and place down a nether brick slab, followed by a quartz stair, and then we're going to place down a row of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 smooth quartz blocks back, a polished andesite block, and then a nether brick stair, dark oak stair, just like that. On both sides here of this dark oak or this green terracotta block, we're going to place down a dark oak sign. We're going to go and grab ourselves an item frame again, and also some black concrete. We're going to place down an item frame on the side here and a black concrete block. On the rear here also, on the left side, we're going to place down a dark oak wood fence post on top of this third mossy cobblestone wall here, and we're going to go ahead and also place down a zombie head, which is going to kind of go up from this fence post. So to build this, we're going to place down a block on top of this head right here, and then we're going to place down a zombie head coming off the side of the block above the fence post, and then we're going to go and delete that block like that to go and create that design there. And again, that's only on the left side here of the aircraft. Once that's done, again going up here to the front, we're going to go and place down an iron trapdoor coming off the side here of this daylight detector. We're going to go then place down our daylight detector and turn it to night mode. After we have that done, we're going to place down a diorite wall to both sides, and we're going to go and follow this up by placing down a smooth quartz slab, followed by a row of 2 of smooth quartz stairs. We're going to go and then place down a row of 1, 2, 3, 4 diorite walls back, a black concrete block, a smooth quartz slab, and then we want to place down an iron trapdoor, like so. We're going to go off this black concrete block, place down another one at the side, another smooth quartz slab, and another iron trapdoor coming off like so. On the sides of these blocks here, we're going to place down 2 iron trapdoors. And if you do not have access to the debug stick, which is this stick right here, which you can use to actually close these trapdoors, like so, you can go and use birchwood trapdoors in their place. Those would be a acceptable substitute for it. But if you do have access to being able to close those iron trapdoors, definitely highly recommend doing that, as it looks the best, really. And then on the side of this black concrete block here, we're just going to place down a ladder facing forward, like so. We also want to go ahead and grab ourselves a snow piece, which we'll get from right here. And we're going to place down a snow piece on top of this stair, just like that. And once we have that all complete there, that is pretty much it for this layer, just making sure I didn't miss anything and everything appears to be good to go. So that right there is going to be it for layer number 6, and with that, let's go and move into layer number 7. Alright guys, moving into our next layer, we have layer number 7. For layer 7 to go ahead and get started with here, we're going to go up to the top, and on top of the second smooth quartz block here in the center, we're going to place down a quartz stair facing that direction like so. After that, we're going to then place down a quartz stair after it, so facing it like so. A black concrete block, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 smooth quartz blocks back, followed by a white shulker box, smooth quartz slab, and a daylight detector turned to night mode like so. Once we have that done, we're going to start working work our way back to the tail. We're going to place down a green terracotta block on top of this one here, and then a mossy cobblestone wall coming off it toward the rear, like so. With that done, going ahead and moving to the sides here, we're going to place down a smooth quartz slab next to the stair, followed by a row of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 smooth quartz blocks back, smooth quartz stair, and we want to go ahead and place down a daylight detector and turn it to night mode like that, coming off this quartz stair. Again, going to the sides here, we're going to place down a black stone wall that is going to be on top of the stair here. We're going to go ahead and take our black concrete, and we're going to go back a total of 1 and 2 black concrete blocks back, followed by a blue concrete block, and then a TNT block directly after that. On the side of the blue concrete block, we're going to go ahead and place down a stone button. And definitely be careful to not double click that when you have the TNT right there, in case you do have TNT turns on, because that will not be good. Then next to this black concrete block here, we're going to place down a dark oak wood trapdoor, have it closed like so. And also we're going to do the same thing here for iron trapdoor, place an iron trapdoor on the side and close it like so. So just like that. And again, if you don't have access to that, you can go and use a birchwood trapdoor instead. Once we get to this section, we're going to take a smooth quartz block, place down a smooth quartz block here, followed by a second one back, and then quartz slab. We're going to go then place down 2 quartz slabs to the side here, so one on top of this black concrete block, and then one coming off of it like that back. And we want to go and lastly place down 2 iron trapdoors on top of these 2, like that for the back there for the engines. Once that's all done, the last thing we have to do here is to go and take an end rod, and we're going to place it down on top of this daylight detector right here like that on the front. And with that all done, that's going to wrap up what we have there for layer 7. And with that, we'll go ahead and move into our last final layers here for building the actual fuselage section of the aircraft. Alright guys, so going ahead and moving into our final layers here for the fuselage. To begin with, we're going to be going ahead and going up to the top here. We're going to place down a stone brick wall on top of this black concrete block, and then an end rod to all 4 sides of it like that on top of those quartz blocks. We're going to go ahead and place down a dark oak wood trapdoor on top of those 2 black concrete blocks. And we're going to go back from it. 1, 2, 3 iron trapdoors. On the inner row here, we're going to place down 1, 2, 3, 4. And then over here, 1, 2, 3, 4. And 1, 2, and 3. We then want to go ahead and place down a row of 2. So 1, 2 in the center. A granite wall. Followed by a redstone repeater with the notches spread apart like that. A stone button on top of the shulker box, an item frame, and then a smooth quartz full block. Or just a white concrete full block. Either one will work for this. I'm going to place it down in that item frame just like that. And that right there is going to basically finish off this front section. Now we're not going to do the rotors just yet, or the propellers, because there is 2 options. You can have it the in-flight version, which you can see is angled like so, or you can have the weighted ones, which is for basically the landed version. So we're going to come back to those in a second here. Anyways, moving back to the tail here. So for the tail, we want to go ahead and go up from this green terracotta block with 1 more, and they're going to place down a green terracotta block on top of this mossy cobblestone wall. From this, we want to go ahead and place down a zombie head coming off this green terracotta block, and then we want to go ahead and place down a green terracotta block coming off this zombie head, so like that to the side. We're going to place down a mossy cobblestone wall coming off of it toward the front here, and then a zombie head coming off the side of that mossy cobblestone wall. Once we have that done, we're going to go and grab ourselves another brick wall. We're going to place down another brick wall coming off this green terracotta block, a dark oak wood sign to both sides of the wall, and we want to go and then grab a black concrete block, stone button, some nether brick slabs, mossy cobblestone wall, and a iron bar. We're going to go and place down a black concrete block coming off this nether brick wall, a stone button, and to make our tail rotor, we're going to place down a nether brick slab that kind of comes off like that, and then we're going to have this transition into a top slab. And same thing basically over here. So like that. And then going downwards, we're going to have a top slab that comes down to a half slab. And same thing over here. Just like that. Once we have that done, we're going to go ahead and place down a mossy cobblestone wall on top of this green terracotta block here. And then a end rod on the very top. Also, this block right here, we can swap out for a shulker box like that. Will look a little bit better for what we're trying to go for. So that right there is going to basically complete the tail there. And with that, that is going to basically finish off this whole section here. Also, this end rod right here should be an iron bar instead, so just like that. One quick thing before we go ahead and move on to the blades, I want to go ahead and change the rear rotor here. And this right here is going to basically involve taking these slabs and swapping them out for basically polished diorite slabs. Polished blackstone slabs. In my opinion, these look a little bit better. They kind of are that more blackish color that we're looking for these rotor blades. And you can see here that in the tutorial for the landed version and also the in-flight blades, I'm going to be going ahead and using it. So I do recommend changing these over as well, as it definitely looks a lot better for the aircraft and what we're trying to go for. So definitely recommend changing those over. Go ahead and make sure you do that, and we're going to now move into our different formats of blades. Alright guys, going ahead and moving into the rotors. So the rotors here, basically, real simple. We're going to be doing the in-flight version to begin with. So this is if the aircraft is actually flying and the rotors are actually angled as they typically are with this helicopter. So to kind of go ahead and get started with this, we want to go ahead and begin with by placing down a wither skeleton skull on top of this stone brick wall. To all 4 sides of the skull, we're going to place down a polished black stone slab. We're going to go ahead and also place down a wither skeleton skull, in these corners at 45-degree angles. So just like that to kind of round the top out here a little bit better. And once we have that done, we're going to start moving into our actual rotors. So to begin with, we're going to take iron trap doors. We're going to place down 2 iron trap doors coming off each one of these polished black stone blocks. And you can see here this version I did use nether brick, or had nether brick on this aircraft. We're going to be going ahead and using polished blackstone. It's going to look a little bit better for what we're trying to go for. So we're going to be using that instead. But to begin with, we're going to go off this iron trap door. 1, 2, 3. Polished slabs in this for the forward blade. So 3, and then we're going to place down 2 coming off the last 2, like that. We then want to go ahead and drop down, place down a top slab. And this right here, we're going to place down a row of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 in total slabs. So we're going to go ahead and place down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And over here, same thing, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We're going to go ahead and then drop down again with 2. So 2 top slabs like that, and then we want to go ahead and place down 1 and 2 top slabs over here to the right side, and then 2 birchwood slabs coming off those slabs like so. In this section here, coming off this slab, we're going to place down a wither skeleton skull like that for the side there. And you can also do a, you can kind of do a block underneath this skull, and then place it like this to kind of give it a little bit better leveling there with the rotor. So anyways, just like that, and that's going to basically do it there for your kind of forward rotor like that. Now once we have that done, going ahead and moving to the side ones. So the side ones here, we want to go ahead and basically do the one over here on the left side first. So this one here, super simple. These ones are just going to be completely straight out to the side. So to begin with, we're going to be going ahead and doing a row of 11. So coming off this iron trapdoor, we're going to go and go out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And then we're going to go ahead and place down a row of 10 on the inside. So indent from this one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We then want to go ahead and place down a slab like this, followed by 1 coming off it forward, and then 2 birchwood slabs on the end. Just like we did for the front here, we can place down a block on the bottom there, and then place down a wither skeleton skull in that space there at a slight angle, like that for the tip there. And that's going to do it for the outer one. And this one over here is going to be basically the same thing. So we're going to place down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And then a row of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And we want to go and then place down 1 slab like this, 1 back, 2 birchwood slabs, and then we're going to drop down and then place down a wither skeleton skull at a 45-degree angle in this position like so. And that right there is going to basically complete this blade over here. Now for our rear one, it's going to basically be that what we did up in the front there, just reversed. So we're going to place down a polished andesite slab, blackstone slab. Going back, followed by 1, 2, so you have a row of 3. Then 2 out to the left side, so like that. We're going to go ahead and then go up with a top slab. We're going to place down a row of 1, 2. And we're going to go ahead and then go back 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you have a row of 7 in total. Same thing over here. We're going to go ahead and then go up to a slab. We're going to go ahead and then place down a slab to the side like this, 1 more out to the side, and then 2 birchwood trapdoors like that coming off those 2 slabs. We're going to go and drop down, place a block in this section, and we can go and place down a wither skeleton skull in that space, just like that. And that right there is going to basically do it for your propellers there for the in-flight version of the VH-60N. And with that, that's going to pretty much be the in-flight version complete. We're going to go now move into the landed version. So those of you that do want to build the aircraft in a landing configuration, you'll have the ability to do that as well. So with that, let's move into the landed version. Alright guys, going ahead and move into building the landed version. So the landed version here basically consists of the weighted rotors. So as you can see for this one right here, they kind of slope downwards as the weight of them and gravity, and you kind of understand how that works. So basically for this, real simple, we're going to be going ahead and going to this stone brick wall. We're going to place down a wither skeleton skull on top of it, followed by a blackstone slab to all 4 sides of it. We then want to go ahead and place down a wither skeleton skull here in the corners at a 45-degree angle. So just like this to kind of shape up the corners here a little bit better. After we have that done, we're going to then go off of these these blackstone blocks, and we're going to go and basically place down iron trapdoors like this in both directions. Now, once we get to this point, we want to go ahead and then take our polished blackstone. Now, you notice over here in this version, I did use nether brick. I'm going to switch this over to polished blackstone, as I think it actually does look better for the aircraft. But again, you can use nether brick if you do choose to. To begin with, we're going to go to this iron trapdoor. We're going to place down 1, 2, 3 slabs going forward, and then 2 slabs to the side. We're going to go ahead and then drop down a slab. We're going to place down 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 in total. Same thing over here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. After that, our next row down is a row of 3. So we're going to go ahead and then place down a row that drops down again. You have 1, 2, and then 1, 2 coming off of it. So you get a row 3, and then another row 3 like that. After that, we're going to go ahead and then drop down yet again. We're going to place down a polished blackstone top side that comes down like this, and then one over to the right side. And then coming off that, we're going to place down 2 birchwood slabs. In this section right here, we're going to place down a wither skeleton skull, which will be coming off the side of the slab, just like that. Once that's done, that's going to do it for your first blade. Our next blade, going ahead and go to the right side here, we're going to place down 3 slabs coming off of it, 2 slabs to the side here, going toward the rear. We're going to drop down, do 2 rows of 5. So just like what we did for the front one. We're going to go and then drop down again, and we're going to do 2 rows of 3. We're going to go and then drop down 1, go back 1, and then we're going to place down our 2 birchwood slabs, followed by a wither skeleton skull like that. So this one, just like we did for the front here, except it's rotated to the side. This one right here, same exact thing. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. We're going to go and drop down, do 2 rows of 5. Drop down again, and do 2 rows of 3. And then we're going to drop down this one out to the side here, 2 birchwood slabs, and then a wither skeleton skull like that. And that's going to do it for that rotor, or for that blade. And then our last one out to the side here, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, drop down, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, drop down again, 2 rows of 3, and then drop down again, and then we're going to go forward 1 slab, and then 2 birchwood slabs, and a wither skeleton skull on the side there. And once you have that all done, that's pretty much it for our landed version. So the blades there are pretty much all the same all around, and it's going to look like something like this from up above. And that right there, guys, is going to wrap it up for my tutorial for the VH-60N Whitehawk or Marine 1. Hopefully you guys do enjoy this tutorial and are able to put good use. If you do end up using this build, I do ask you guys to give me proper credit for it. This being thank you for the build, tweet to my channel or this video if this does appear in social media sites. As always, guys, give me proper credit for the build. You're free user for projects you guys are working on. Overall, enjoy the build, have fun with it, and all that fun stuff. But other than that, thank you guys again for watching. Big special links to Patreon supporter The Grand Pope for making this tutorial possible, and feel free to check out my Patreon page. Link is always in my video descriptions. And with that, this has been Gear 204, and I'll see you guys next time.